In this video, I'm going to show you how to get the most from your outplacement provider. Welcome to the channel. My name is Jane Foray, career coach for frustrated professionals who are ready to take the next step up in their career. If you've just arrived here, then don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. So whether you've been informed that you are at risk of redundancy, you're mid-consultation, or you're in conversation about leaving your organisation by mutual agreement, you may have been offered outplacement support to ease your transition out of the organisation and into something else, whatever that might be. If this is you, then you might have been offered outplacement support by somebody like myself, an independent coach, or by one of the big organisations that do this on a mass scale. So when I was working in HR at British Airways, we used to use one of the big organisations to help us with our outplacement, and I received a number of mixed reports about my colleagues' experiences through this process. And when I went through it myself, I was very nervous as I wasn't really sure what to expect. So the purpose of this video is to share some of my experiences so that it will help you to get the most from your outplacement provider. So the first thing is to get clear on how long the package will be and what is included in it. So the first thing I'm going to say is I will always appreciate being offered outplacement support. One of the things that really started to bug me about working for British Airways, and one of the things that really helped me to make the decision to leave the organisation, was the ongoing focus on cost. So as a result, we were offered the cheapest package, which, as you can imagine, is not always the most appropriate package for everybody. Some people need additional support, some people need less. So the divide was really highlighted for me when I attended some of the group sessions with people from other clients, other organisations, and they were offered, things like unlimited support from their organisations. It really did make me feel like the poor relation. So the first thing that I suggest that you do is get clarity on how long the package will last, as well as getting really clear on what is included in it. So for things like one-to-one sessions, ask how many you get. How long is each session? And is there a time scale on when you need to use them by? For group workshops, ask how many workshops that you can attend. Can you attend across a number of different locations? So I'm kind of live near Heathrow Airport, so I could attend sessions in central London, in Reading, and in Maidenhead. So that was really useful for me, and I could kind of plan my day around those. Another question is, can I repeat a workshop? So I did a workshop right at the beginning of my outplacement, and it didn't quite land with me because I wasn't in the right place. And so the question that I asked was, can I actually repeat it just to help cement my learning? And if I do repeat it, will that be deducted from my allowance if I have one? And then for all of the online resources, ask how long it is that you're going to have access for, and is there a place that you can access any online support should you need to. So the key thing here is that many of the larger providers will have different levels of support available, and be mindful that someone from your organisation might be offered a different level of support from you for a whole number of reasons. It could be a seniority thing, it could be that that's something that they have negotiated. Don't rely on hearsay about what someone else has got. Be clear from the start about how long your outplacement coaching is going to last and exactly what is involved in it, because you do not want to waste this opportunity. And if you would rather work with somebody on a one-on-one basis rather than, being put through the conveyor belt, and I mean this without any disrespect to those organisations, but I did feel that I was on a conveyor belt. So if you'd rather not be part of that and work with someone on a one-on-one basis, then I have put details of my VIP program on my website. All the links to that is in the description box below. So the second thing then is to start when you are ready. So if your outplacement support is provided through your employer, it is highly likely that you will be registered to start on the first Monday after you leave the organisation. So this might work for some people. Others might need to take a break from after finishing in one role and before starting what is the next chapter of their life. I actually started my outplacement when I was on garden leave, which really worked for me actually. It helped me to transition out of my last job there and gently nudged me into looking at the external job market. So that really helped me. Just be aware that there is a fine line between getting closure from your current role and putting things off that you really don't want to do. So if you do decide to take some time out, if that's what you want to do, then what I would advise you to do is decide upfront on a date that you're going to get back into it and start your outplacement. Maybe get a meeting in the diary so that you cannot put it off. So then what that helps you to do is it will help you to really enjoy your time off, kind of free from guilt, free from thinking, oh, I should be doing this or I should be doing that. But it also avoids that nagging feeling that, oh my God, I'm going to have to start sooner or later. You're not going to feel like you're putting it off. So whatever date you choose, just remember that the clock starts ticking from that point. So start when you are ready. The third thing I would say is choose your coach. So if you've got access to one-to-one coaching as part of your package, then ask if you are able to select who you can work with. The success of any coaching or mentoring relationship lies in the chemistry between the coach and the coachee. If you're not able to really open up, really be honest, and really be vulnerable, then that relationship is not going to work. So I was actually warned off one particular outplacement coach by a number of colleagues. Thankfully, I wasn't matched with that individual, but I did actually meet them at a workshop later on. And let's just say that that relationship would not have been a success. I did get lucky with my coach. She really got me. She got where I was coming from, and she really helped me to figure out where it was that I wanted to go moving forward. So if you have the option, ask if you're able to see profiles of coaches and select one with whom you feel that you'd get the right levels of support and challenge in equal measure. And if you start a relationship with an outplacement coach and you find that the coach is just not right for you, either they just don't really understand you, or you find that they're just not connecting with you, or you're just not getting the right level of support, then say something. Those big outplacement organisations will quite happily allocate you another coach. Remember that the only person that's going to be impacted by a poor relationship with an outplacement coach is going to be you. Okay? Those coaches that are working for those big organisations are just going to have a steady stream of people through their door. It's not going to be any skin off their nose, but it will have a big impact on you. And again, if you don't want to go through the conveyor belt machine of a big organisation, because that's just not you, and you want to work with someone on a one-to-one basis, then feel free to forward my information to your HR team and they could engage me on your behalf. Fourth thing is to pace yourself. So I worked at British Airways for almost 20 years. That is a long time to be in an organisation. And looking back now with the benefit of hindsight, I know that I was institutionalised in some way. Go through the outplacement program at a speed that is right for you. So some people can just flick the switch and quickly move on. Other people might take things at a slower pace. What I would say is go at the speed that is right for you. So the fifth point is you don't need to take what is on offer. So what I would say is don't feel that you're obliged to take up this offer, because it is just that. It's an offer. The organisation might have agreed with your representatives to offer outplacement to everyone as part of a redundancy consultation. And many, not all organisations, will go for the cheapest option just to tick a box and get you out of the door. And this certainly was my experience. And my feedback was always that rather than offering the cheapest option to everybody, offer a better quality product to those who want it. So many of my colleagues who were leaving the business had one objective, and that was to retire. They had no intention of taking up the offer of outplacement, yet the organisation still paid for them. I mean, it worked out okay for me because, I'm a self-starter and I've applied for lots of jobs, most of which were internal, but I had already kind of dipped my toe in the external job market. I was probably equipped to accept a lower level of support because I also had a great network around me. If you've been working in an organisation for a long time and you really don't know what you want, you might find that is not the best option for you. And I'd say don't feel obliged to take up the offer. Just go with what is right for you. So one thing that you could do is ask your organisation if they would pay for you to have some private outplacement support from somebody like myself. I was recently working with somebody who was exited from their organisation as the role just didn't work out. They asked for help and the HR director contacted me to see if I could support them. So in this particular scenario, my one-to-one VIP outplacement program was the solution. But if you'd like to find out more, all of the details to this are in the description box below, so you could see if this would be a good fit for you. If you are more senior in an organisation, I guarantee that you do not want to be put through a sheep dip of a regular program and find yourself in a workshop sitting next to somebody who you used to manage, especially when it comes to being vulnerable about your situation and expressing how you're really feeling. If it's that one-to-one relationship, that would generally be a much better fit for you, and it would enable you to get the most out of a program and to move on to your next step quicker than you would do before. So if this is the case for you, don't feel that you need to accept an outplacement program provided by your employer just because they're offering it. If you feel that actually what you want to do is go out and find your own coach who can help you with that transition, then put that suggestion forward to your organisation. They might offer to pay for it. They may say no. In this case, then you need to ask yourself the question, is this investment worth it if I can find my role at a higher salary much quicker than I would do it on my own? And just imagine that. What if you secured a higher salary because you got clarity on exactly the value that you bring to an organisation? So those are some of my top tips for getting the most out of your outplacement provider. So be clear on how long the program will last. Be clear on exactly what you've got access to as part of the program. Don't start until you're ready, otherwise the clock will start ticking and you might waste the opportunity. Choose the right coach for you and ask to change if there is absolutely no chemistry between you. Pace yourself. Work through the program at a pace that is right for you. And don't feel obliged to take up the offer. It might be right for everybody else, but it might not be right for you. You might need to make a choice about whether you go and do it on your own or whether you invest in an outplacement coach for yourself. So if you're in this situation, you're looking for somebody to help out, whether that's through redundancy or whether it's just time for you to move on, then please do feel free and get in touch. And I'm just going to reiterate at the end, as an end note, that I was appreciative of receiving outplacement. It certainly gave me the opportunity to take some time out and figure out what it was that I wanted to do next. So do let me know in the comments below how you find your outplacement experience. What did you get out of it? What was the good, the bad, and the ugly of it? If you found this video useful, then please do click on that like button, share this with anyone you feel would get some value from it, and subscribe to future episodes. My name is Jane Foray, career coach for frustrated professionals. I'll see you on the next video.